Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing fine. So you have to be fine, in fact. We don't have any choice, yeah. So we have to be fine, we have to be in high spirits, we have to study properly, and we have to excel in our studies and results, yeah. And also, so today's topic is very special in the sense, first I can say in NCERT book of class 12th, so chapter 5, we are starting with continuity and differentiability of a function. Chapter 6, applications of derivatives. Chapter 7, integration. Chapter 8, applications of integral calculus. Chapter 9, differential equations. So these 5 chapters, that is a major portion of our syllabus, which is scoring also, interesting also. And one word of caution here, so if you just not take a break in between, so it means, for example, you think without doing differentiation you will just not jump to integration, without doing integration you will jump to differential equations, that will be a problem. So in that way, so the topics are in a continuous flow, and we will start with continuity of the function also. And before we start the formal definition, formal theoretical aspect of the function, just observe these two graphs. In first case, you can clearly see there are breaks in between. So that means the graph is not very smooth. So you can easily identify the graph because we already have studied such functions, and this is the graph of greatest integer function, and it looks like steps, you can say, and there are breaks. It means we don't have this continuous flow, continuous this smooth curve we don't have in this case. And second case, I have taken graph of sine function, and which is a very smooth curve. And if you see the whole real number line, I have taken this x-axis, so x from minus infinity to plus infinity, so it is a very smooth curve, there is no break at any point. And here you see, so y equal to sin x, and here y equal to greatest integer function. So the difference is very clear. So in one case the graph is not smooth, there are breaks in between. Other case, so there is no break, no gap, it means the graph is very smooth. So it means before even studying the topic, we can identify whether the graph, from the smoothness of the curve, graph of the curve, we can say whether the function is continuous or not. Do you agree with me? Okay, now coming to the formal definition, what is continuity of a function? So continuity of a function means, whenever we say continuity of a function, we may consider continuity of a function in an interval, and also continuity of a function at a point. So first, taking the case of continuity of a function at a point, f(x) is continuous at a point x equal to a if limit x approaches to a, f(x) equal to fa. So this statement carries three conditions. It means when the function can be continuous at a point. So f(x) is continuous at a point x equal to a. First condition is fa is defined. That means at x equal to a, f(x) should have a definite value. Second condition is limit x approaches to a, f(x) exists. So limit of the function as x approaches to a should exist. So in this case, all the methods of the limits, all the concepts we have done in class 11th standard, so that will come into action. Third one is limit x approaches to a, fx equal to fa. It means our limiting value should be equal to functional value. So if any one of the three conditions, at least one of the three conditions is not satisfied, so we can't say function is continuous, or in other words, function won't be continuous. So if the function is not continuous, if fx is not continuous, if it is not continuous, then fx is discontinuous. Okay, so here you see, if fx is not continuous at x equal to a, then it is discontinuous at x equal to a. So function will be discontinuous when? If at least one of the three conditions is not satisfied. Okay, so this is about the function being continuous at a particular point. If you think function is continuous in an interval or not, so if the function is continuous in an interval, it has to be continuous at each and every point of that interval. Like for example, if I just consider sin x, so if I take any particular interval, maybe 0 to 2 pi, here 0 to pi, so you can see if the function is continuous in the continuous at each and every point of that interval, then only we can say the function is continuous in that interval. So whenever the question comes, you have to see whether it is continuous at a point or at an interval. Okay, so be very, very careful in reading the question. Discontinuity of a function. So as I just told you, when the function is not continuous, it is discontinuous. So discontinuous discontinuity has also its types. Like for example, as we know, the function will be discontinuous. So again, if at least one of the three conditions of continuity is not satisfied. For example, suppose fa is not defined. Okay, suppose for example fx equal to 1 by x. So 1 by x is not defined at x equal to 0. So it means we can't say fx equal to 1 by x is a continuous function at x equal to 0, because at x equal to 0 it is not defined. Similarly, if limit of the function at a particular point doesn't exist, so if limit doesn't exist, again you can't say function is continuous. And also if limit exists, function is also defined, but limiting value not equal to functional value, so again the function won't be continuous. So depending upon the conditions of discontinuity, depending upon the state of discontinuity, we can categorize the discontinuity of a function. So for example, in first case I have taken here, suppose limit x approaches to a plus, I mean right hand limit of the function, and limit x approaches to a minus fx means left hand limit of the function both exist, but right hand limit not equal to left hand limit. So it means here limit doesn't exist. So this is called discontinuity of first type. Discontinuity of फर्स्ट काइंड, जहाँ पे राइट लिमिट भी एग्जिस्ट करेगा, लेफ्ट भी एग्जिस्ट करेगा, बट दोनों इक्वल नहीं होंगे. ठीक है. अच्छा, सेकंड केस, वन ऑफ द राइट या लेफ्ट लिमिट या बोथ ऑफ देम that do not exist. It means you may have right limit exists, left limit doesn't exist, या left exist, right doesn't exist, या दोनों को दोनों exist नहीं करते. Okay, none of the right and left, या both right left they do not exist. So in that case again we can't say limit is existing. So ये केस में भी limit exist नहीं करता. So this is discontinuity of second type, the second kind. Third one is both limit of the function that exists and functional value is also there. So here, if limit x approaches to a, fx not equal to f of a, so here also the function is discontinuous. So such discontinuity is called removable discontinuity. Okay, so it is called removable discontinuity. So now the name suggests removable discontinuity means the discontinuity can be removed. Okay, so how to remove the discontinuity in this case? So here the discontinuity can be removed. The discontinuity can be removed by redefining the function. Okay, because when limit doesn't exist, we can't do anything. Okay, but whenever the limit is existing and functional value is there, but they are not equal, we call it removable discontinuity, and this category of discontinuity can be removed if we redefine the function. So I will take a question on it. Okay, so before we take the questions now, let me just tell you algebra of continuous functions. Like we have studied earlier, algebra of limits, right? Whenever two functions, when you have fx and gx, sum of the functions, limit of sum equal to sum of limits, difference of limits, limit of difference and difference of limits are equal. So like that. Similarly, limit x approaches to a fx into gx equal to limit of fx into limit of gx. Yeah. So similarly, in case of continuous function, if we have fx and gx both are continuous at x equal to a, which belongs to set of real numbers, then we can say fx plus minus gx. Sum and difference of two continuous functions can be continuous. Again, domain remains same. F plus minus gx, fx into gx, product of two continuous functions is continuous. Third one is k into fx is continuous. Okay, it means if you multiply any constant to that continuous function, the product scalar multiple of that function will also be continuous. And finally, you can say fx by gx is continuous at x equal to a if ga not equal to 0. Okay, so if these two functions are continuous at x equal to a belongs to R, then sum, difference, product, scalar multiple of that function will be continuous at x equal to a. And also quotient of the two functions can be continuous provided GA, denominator of this function is not equal to 0 at x equal to a. Okay, so now we are ready to take some questions. Let's see solve some questions now. First question is fx equal to 2x plus 1 when x less than equal to 2 and 3x minus 1 when x greater than 2. Examine continuity of this function at x equal to 2. Okay, so we have to say whether it is continuous or discontinuous. Let's check it. Okay, so when x less than equal to 2, fx equal to 2x plus 1. So first of all, we will find what is f2. Means at x equal to 2, fx equal to 2x plus 1. So f2 is 2 into 2 plus 1. It is 5. Limit x approaches to 2 minus fx. Now when x less than 2, 2 minus means x less than 2. Okay, so this is equal to limit x approaches to 2 minus 2x plus 1. We can evaluate it. Limit h approaches to 0 twice of 2 minus h plus 1. So you are getting 5 here. So your left hand limit is 5. Limit x approaches to 2 plus. Now when x is more than 2, so limit x approaches to 2 plus. When x greater than 2, you have 3x minus 1 here. So limit h approaches to 0, 3 into 2 minus h minus 1, that is equal to 5. It means you have left hand limit 5, right hand limit 5 and functional value is also 5. So it means limit x approaches to 2, fx equal to 5, that is equal to f2. So f is continuous at x equal to 2. So this is the way to do such questions. So second question is fx equal to sin x by x when x less than 0, 1 when x greater than equal to 0. Examine the continuity at x equal to 0. So here, so f0 when x equal to 0, fx equal to 1. So f0 equal to 1. Now we have to find LHL and RHL because we are given when x less than 0, when x more than 0. So limit x approaches to 0 minus fx equal to limit x approaches to 0 minus means when x less than 0, you are having sin x by x. So limit h approaches to 0, sin 0 minus h by 0 minus h means limit h approaches to 0, sin minus h is minus sin h. We can write minus sin h by minus h. So we are getting here limit h approaches to 0, sin h by h, that is equal to 1. Okay. So left limit equal to 1. Limit x approaches to 0 plus fx, that is equal to 1. It is already given. When x greater than 0, fx equal to 1. So right limit is already given, it is 1. So here you see right limit equal to 1, left hand limit equal to 1, functional value is also 1. So it means you can write limit x approaches to 0, fx equal to 1, that is equal to f0. So f is continuous at x equal to 0. Is it clear? Now third question, fx equal to under root 1 minus cos 2x by x when x not equal to 0 and 0 when x equal to 0. We have to check for the continuity at x equal to 0. So when we are given at x equal to 0, fx equal to 0. So without any thought we can write it here. Now next, when x not equal to 0 means x may be more than 0, yeah, x may be less than 0. So we can write like this, limit x approaches to 0 minus fx, that is equal to limit x approaches to 0 minus 1 minus cos 2x under root of this by x, limit x approaches to 0 minus 1 minus cos 2x is 2 sin square x and under root of this, so we can write here root 2. If I write here mod sin x just to avoid plus minus. Okay. Now limit h approaches to 0, root 2 sin 0 minus h by 0 minus h. So it is mod sin 0 minus h. It means mod sin minus h. So here you are getting h approaches to 0 root 2 sin h by minus h. So this is our 1. So you are getting here minus root 2. Is clear? Now next case is limit x approaches to 0 plus fx. Limit x approaches to 0 plus. So again we are getting here under root 1 minus cos 2x. That will be root 2 mod sin x divided by x. Now limit h approaches to 0 root 2 sin 0 plus h by 0 plus h means we are getting here limit h approaches to 0 root 2 sin h by h. So this is 1. So we are getting root 2 here. So here you observe left hand limit is minus root 2, right hand limit is plus root 2. So it means RHL not equal to LHL. So it means function is discontinuous. So you can write here LHL not equal to RHL. So even if both LHL RHL both are existing but both are not equal. So it means this is discontinuity of first type. Okay. So if the question is mention discontinuity of a type, so it will be discontinuity of first type where LHL RHL both exist but they are not equal, or you can say here limit also doesn't exist. Okay. So here the common error the children make. So 1 minus cos 2x. Okay. Under root 1 minus cos 2x. If just like that we can take, okay, 1 minus cos 2x equal to 2 sin square x root 2 sin x. So we will not be getting two cases. Okay, but here you see whenever we are given we take root 2 sin x, and domain of course x belongs to set of real numbers, right? We are not taking inverse trigger function here. So in general sin x the domain is set of real numbers. So when x approaches to 0 plus 0 minus, so both the cases we need to consider. Okay. So instead of taking plus minus we have taken here mod sin x. Okay. Then when it is left hand limit you are getting minus root 2, when you take right hand limit this. So please be careful for this common error. Okay. So otherwise the most general thing that will come to the children's students mind or anybody's mind is root 2 sin x. So it has to be root 2 mod sin x. Root 2 sin x ka mod. Okay. So these are 3 questions. Maybe for today we have to wind up the class now. Okay. And next we will be coming with many more questions. And again I would request you all to be very you can say while studying calculus, please do not take any break. Do not take any break in between the topics. Okay. It has to be continuous flow of topics starting from chapter 5 till chapter 9. Okay. And thank you so much.